Beverly Peterson, from Christine Hughes, and also from Trudy Painter in the high jump. But now our attention reverts to the 1600-metre relays. The first to go off is the men's final with 8 teams competing. Auckland B in lane number 1, Waikato in 2, Canterbury in 3, Wellington in 4, Otago in 5, Southland in 6, the Auckland A team in lane 7, and Taranaki in lane 8. Auckland fielding 2 teams, A and B. The top 4 runners from that province, naturally enough, go into the A team, and the next 4 seeded runners comprise the B team, A in 7 and B in 1. These races usually develop into a very good battle between Auckland, Waikato and Canterbury. Now, in the 1600-metre relay, they must run in lanes for the first 500 metres. In other words, the first complete lap and then the first 100 metres of the second lap. Mike Ruddy running for Auckland B in lane number 1. Kevin Philpott for Waikato in 2. Vernon Roberts for Canterbury in 3. Mike Craig in the middle of the track there for Wellington in lane number 4. For Otago, it's Greg Hamilton running the first leg. And Wayne Christian for Southland. Bruce Greenhalgh for Auckland A, and Dwayne Hart for Taranaki. And it looks like it might well be Southland or Otago, or is it Auckland A? Yes, it's Auckland A, as we would expect. Bruce Greenhalgh leading the way for Auckland, and a strong challenge coming here from Dwayne Hart from Taranaki. And it's Taranaki and Auckland that are disputing the lead at the moment, with Wellington probably in 3rd place. And taking the baton for the Auckland A team is Shane Downey, of course better known as a 100 and 200-metre runner, so this will be a tough distance for him to try and hang in there for 400 metres. Now they break as soon as they hit the start of the back straight on this leg, and they can run then, as it were, an Indian file. They can go wherever they like on the track. So there's an important tactical advantage to be gained here.
Now Waikato, good 400-metre runners. Kevin Philpott ran a good leg for him, and Ken Smith now carrying it on. He has to try and keep in front here. He's kicking away from the rest of the field.
And of course it gets very crowded down at the start-finish line here for the 3rd change, and John Davies and I well remember the last one we did in Canberra, where it developed almost into a barroom brawl. But however, let's see how they go. Waikato leading from Auckland, a good run from Shane Downey. Ken Smith gives the baton on to his fellow competitor Robert Howell. For Auckland A, it's Mike Hindmarsh running the 3rd leg, so it's Waikato leading from Auckland, Canterbury in 3rd place. Running this leg for Canterbury is Nigel Rodwell, and Otago with David Hamilton running this leg. They are the 4 leading provinces at the moment.
And Robert Howell is an excellent runner. He's a 1500-metre, 800-metre runner, so he should have the strength to try and keep this going. But Hindmarsh is closing on him.
This is Robert Howell of Waikato being tracked all the way on this 3rd leg by Hindmarsh. And there goes the tall Aucklander, putting his province back in front with 100 metres, just over 100 metres left on the 3rd leg. And Paul Cuff, the national 400-metre champion, will run the last leg for Auckland. So they're in the absolutely perfect position at the moment with the fastest 400-metre runner to take the final baton change, and cuts away for Waikato. There goes Chris Rogers. Now this is interesting because Rogers is the fastest man in New Zealand over 400 this season. He didn't run the 400 at these championships, and the man he's chasing is the man who won that title. So down they go, and look at Rogers. He gave Cuff the best part of about 10 or 15 metres, and he's nearly caught him.
Now, what do you think it would feel like to be Paul Cuff and know you've got this man behind you? Look at the concentration on his face. He's running a tactical race, Paul Cuff.
Come on, keep going.
Well, it was all set up for Cuff. He had a lead of about 15 metres when he took the baton, but a very strong challenge coming from Chris Rogers. Now let's see who's going to take this race out. Cuff on the inside, Rogers on the outside, Auckland and Waikato, 50 metres to go. Oh, but look at Paul Cuff, a great run from Cuff. He's got the strength again where it matters. Well, Chris Rogers threw absolutely everything at Cuff, and he ran a very strong first 200, Rogers, but he may have taken a little more out of him than he would have liked, because he seemed just to run out of strength a little up the home straight, and a perfectly judged race by Paul Cuff has given the 1600-metre relay to Auckland.
And I know a man that will like Paul Cuff's haircut, because he's really cleaned himself up for this act today. Here he comes. He ran a perfectly judged race. He didn't go too hard over the first 200 because he knew Chris Rogers would be tough when they hit the home straight. Now Cuff is a real sprinter, and Rogers is more of an 800 metres man, and this is where the sprinter comes into action in this home straight. He's just too powerful. Look at the muscular development he's got. He's really strong, and he bulldozed it out right to the line under total control. Great run by Paul Cuff to win it for Auckland.
That's how it finished. Unofficially 3:13. Auckland first, Waikato second.